right, let's talk about horizontal and vertical shifts and what they do to our basic graphs. Hopefully you recall the basic graphs from the last lecture. All right, so here we have y equals the square root of x. All right, I'm just going to plot some points. I know I have the point 1. Well, let's see here. I've got the point 0, 0. I've got the point 1, 1. I have the point 4, 2. So I have a graph that looks roughly like this. Okay, so what does plus 4 do to the graph if I put the plus 4 under the radical? All right, what this means is we are adding 4 to every single x coordinate, okay? And what it does is it shifts the graph 4 places to the left. Now, maybe you're thinking, hey, that's plus 4. It should go to the right. But it's actually opposite sign on the x-axis. All right, just to prove my point, let's actually plug in negative 4. Negative 4 would be down here. If I plug in negative 4, now I get 0. If I plug in negative 3, then I get the square root of 1, which is 1. If I plug in 0, I get the square root of 4, which is 2. And so I have my graph in red that is shifted to the left 4 places. Let me grab another color here. What about y equals the square root of x plus 4, where the plus 4 is now on the outside of the radical? This means I'm taking my original function, all right, so my original y values now, and I'm adding 4 to them, okay? And so what that means is I should expect the black basic function there to shift up 4 places. Well, does it? Well, now if I plug in 0, I get the square root of x, or the square root of 0 plus 4, which is simply 4. If I plug in 1, let me actually move my, let's see if I can move this. Uh-oh. Well, we're just going to have to make a makeshift graph. But as you can see up there at the top, that is my black basic function shifted up 4 places. All right, let's grab another color. Let's look at something else we can do. All right, we'll grab purple. What about y equals negative square root of x? All right, so what does this negative right here do? Well, this negative, it's actually changing the sign on all my y's. Okay, in other words, I am flipping over the x-axis. All right, meaning now if I plug in 1, I get negative square root of 1, which is just negative 1. If I plug in 4, I'm likewise getting negative 2. And so as you can see, we have flipped over the x-axis. So what's it going to look like for us to flip over the y-axis? Well, to flip over the y, all right, and let me just grab one more color here. If I want to flip over the y, then what I need to do is I need to change the sign of my x's. That's what's on the opposite side of the y-axis, right? Opposite x's. And so now, if I put the negative on the inside of the radical, then I am getting my basic graph shifted over the y-axis.